Hello, welcome travellers to the Battling Barrow, and in this video we're going to do a quick and easy terrain project. But before we get on with that, if you could like the video and subscribe and hit the notification and select all for us, that would be brilliant. It means a lot to us as a small channel. It doesn't take too long for you to do and we'd really appreciate it. Thank you. So yeah, we're playing Drums on Fire Mountain, and in that I've got most of the terrain needed if I wanted to set up different sort of encounters, except for one piece, and that is these 3 bespoke temples. When it comes to terrain, what I normally feel is if it's a reusable bit of terrain, spend time, money and effort on it. If it's just going to be used once, try to build it as quick but as well as possible, and that's what we're going to be doing today. A lot of terrain videos are for really detailed, reuse and reuse these, but what if you're not? What if you're just going to use them once? Well, how much effort, how much time and how much money do you put into these projects? And that's what we're going to do today. So this is going to be pretty much used only for this adventure. I won't throw it away afterwards. There's some platforms I might make those reusable, try and make it modular, so perhaps reuse those in adventures, but the temples themselves are so specific to this encounter that I can't really reuse them too much in the future. I don't really see much reuse. So what we're going to do is build them quick but effective and cheaply. So let's get on with building them. Okay, so for this I'm going to be making out of cheaper material. Ideally, if I had like thick blue foam, I would make it out of that. It's really difficult to come by where I am, and when you do get hold of it, it's really expensive. So my plan here was to use this cheaper 5mm floor insulation foam and use this to clad some cheap bobbly white polystyrene and then cover that up with something. The first thing I'm doing is just cutting some bits to size. The way I've done this was to get a PDF copy, which I got from my print on demand copy, scale it up on my screen so it would be sort of the right size I want on the tabletop, and just use a ruler and take measurements from that. And I also did the same for all the pieces and use that to transfer the patterns on, which I would then score in to the cut out pieces using a sharp pencil. This is one of those retractable pencils, so the nib's really nice and sharp. And just go through and just score in the details onto it. Something I haven't done in this piece here we're looking at, but I do later on, is texture them. So what I done wrong here is I should have textured them first before I carved in details, because doing this can sort of make the details sort of get lost in the texture. So you texture them first, then do the scoring. I'm just experimenting with different texture rollers I made. In the end I used my old faithful one, which is this one here. This is great. It's my all-purpose one. This gets a nice wood texture, but it does flatten down the detail, so I'll have to go back round and carve that back in. So texture first. And it's just a simple case now of just going around and drawing all those patterns in by hand. By the end, got a bit fed up with spiders, fish and birds, I can tell you. Okay, with those done, this is how it's going to look. This is all the front pieces. It's time to get some of this white foam. And what I'm going to do is, this is about 1.5 inches thick, just 1.25 inches thick. So that will be the thickness of the actual walls at the front with the door set back there. So I'm just working out sizes, marking it out, and then moving over to my hot wire cutter, where I shall then cut those pieces to size. Once I've got them cut to size, I'm just going to stick this 5mm floor insulation I used onto the white foam. I'm using hot glue for quickness. Now the door I wanted to sort of be removable, so when the players solve the puzzle, I just remove the door to show that it's open. So for this, all I'm doing is sticking a sort of block of this foam on the back, so the door can stand up either side of the wall. But then when I want to remove the door, they've solved it, I can just put it away like so, put it back. So it's a simple thing, but it sort of works. And this is me just working out it will fitting together. Putting the top beam on. Before we glue it all together, it's time to clad it in something, so disguise the joins and make it look a bit more like stone. So for this I'm making a mixture of water and plaster that I am just then going to smear on over the top. This is actually worked out great. It's probably worked out, I probably wouldn't have done this if I had that pink foam. I'd have just textured the foam, but this worked out great because not only did it hide the join, which is what I initially done it for, but it gave a really brilliant stone texture on the sort of top and sides, and I was really pleased with this. So sometimes these sort of things lead to something, a happy accident. Okay, the sort of platform, the plinths as it were, that these sit on are just made from 4 sheets of that 5mm floor insulation texture. I've got loads of this. I bought it for another project earlier in the year, and this is going to last me for ages. Really cheap. I think it's 30 quid for a big pack, and it's just everlasting. I used it actually in the Battling Barrow gaming room to put fake beams on my ceiling and everywhere and build fake treasure chests. And you've seen the prop barrel video, it was made to use those, and I've made other buildings. Yeah, it's ongoing. So yeah, what I'm going to do is just texture this up, and these are just 4 pieces. Again, I've worked out the size. They just have a sort of step feature going up, so they're about a half, each one's about an inch less in length than the last one. So I'm just going to go around, texture the sides, the top, and then when I'm done, put in a rough sort of stone slab pattern into it with some cracks, and then glue the pieces together with hot glue. Next up, I'm going to glue the temple bits together. These are not getting glued to the platforms. I figured I could reuse the platforms. If I can't these are very bespoke, very specific to this project, but the platform itself might come in useful in the future. So I'm going to glue the walls to the top, obviously not gluing the door in, and I won't glue the piece to the platform. But yeah, so I'm just going to work out where I want to glue them and then glue them. Okay, on to painting. You'll probably notice this as I go along to any colours. I am making this up as I go along. I want it to be that kind of sandstone jungle ruin you see in things. There's a Sinbad film when I go to this big temple place. One where someone gets turned into a baboon, whichever one that is. Let me know in the comments. My brain's gone completely empty. Golden Voyage. Or the Eye of the Tiger. Anyway, that film, it's that sort of temple I am after, and so yeah, so for this to begin with, I'm just painting this opaque sort of ivory colour. Then I thought I'd give it a wash of brown to get in, and you can see instantly it makes all those details pop, which is great. And do the same with the steps, of course, and the plinky steps. Okay, and this is it when it's dry. It's not bad, it's not bad. So what I'm going to do now is come in with some of that ivory and white, sort of do a little mixture and sort of dry brush that over. And yeah, I was sort of really happy with this. Just this alone was the sort of look I was going for, this sort of ruined, ancient, sandstone-y texture. Really happy with this colour. What I'm going to do here is, notice I didn't undercoat it with Mod Podge or anything, so what I'm going to do here is just give it a coating of Mod Podge here just to act as a sealant, because this stuff, this floor insulation foam is really relatively soft, so just to give it a bit of protection. And now one of the sort of temple tomb entrances has a pig skull. I don't actually have a pig skull, but this one here, I cut it up, may look sort of pig-like. It has like It's in 3 pieces, jawbone in half and the front of it. So I figured this is piggy enough. Perhaps it's like a monster pig thing. So I'm going to paint on the sprue. Once I've got it all painted and shaded, cut it out and glue it into place. And once that is done, this project is complete. It was relatively simple, fun to build, really good on tabletop. And before we have a look at the final result, I'd like to thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing. Have another watch some other videos after this one too. That would be brilliant. Thanks for all your support, guys. Until the next video, stay safe, take care. Bye bye.